Just a few weeks ago. It's kind of interesting. So how did this car get here? It doesn't look like it's too scratched up. It hasn't been tumbling around. I don't see any dents on it. And this wooden fence doesn't look damaged. The only way I can imagine that car got there, it was levitated and then gradually, gently lowered onto that fence. It didn't crash down onto that fence. And we have more of these. How come this one's upside down? The ones on either side don't look damaged at all. You just get this car flipping over. Interesting other things. It doesn't look like these cars tumbled. And we get missing material. I don't see any stab wounds in this building, just the material's gone. Same with this apartment building. The whole building's gone there. Kind of reminds me of another scene. Now you see it, now you don't. Just gone. And if you've seen my earlier work, I was fascinated with the instant rust we see all around Ground Zero. And so I found this quite interesting. The underside of the car rusted. So what do these look like? Well, if this image reminds you of something you've seen before in your life, you remember how you felt when you saw that scene. You could feel the storm coming. You knew it was a big storm. You feel it. You're feeling the field effects. And weird things happen between this cloud layer and the ground. It's like there's a potential between the two. These little fingers getting ready to strike. This isn't a big windstorm. This is something that's getting ready to turn into a tornado. And here's one of those big shelves with mega storm clouds.
I got a wide angle.
This one comes up from the ground. It doesn't come down from above, and it joins from above. This is a slow motion of it. You can watch it come up from the ground here and join this thing above, that there's some kind of potential between the two that brings them together. But if you're like I am, you remember feeling what that area looks like, what it feels like. Sort of like it smells like a storm.
Did you see above our heads? Look above.
I'm sorry. Coming this way.
Look above you, right here.
This is coming from the ground.
Look at that.
Oh my God. Give further shot. Shoot.
I'm shooting.
Good.
Then look at the funnel.
Oh my God, look at the funnel. This is incredible. We're backing up.
We are. Oh, I hope he backs up. He's going to be right in the middle of that.
Oh my God, are you getting this meeting?
I'm getting it.
I gotta get some shots. I gotta get some shots. Hang on.
Ow!
Sorry.
Look at this, baby. Ah, stop. Look at this.
Tell me what it's doing.
It grew into a monster. So we know that there's some kind of a potential between these two, and there's some sort of a field effect here. And it started getting me to think that maybe this is like various things that John has in his lab, but on a much smaller scale. I started looking at the shapes of these. Big flat top and ground, and it's like two plates, but it always has a stem up the middle. huge storm cloud. Sydney, Australia, I believe. That's a mirrored image, but here's part of it with the electrical. Remind you of anything you saw in John's videos? To me, it starts looking like a big Tesla coil. Where here you have the stem, and then you have the big loop at the top. So if we look at the anatomy of a hurricane, it's got this spiral going up the middle. Same with big thunderclouds. Water conducts. And if you have a coil that you wrapped round and round and round that conducts, it seems to me you have something very similar to a Tesla coil on a large scale. So this is the cloud at the top. And here, I like to show this spectrum. We have a wide variety of wavelengths to pick from, or mix and match, pick and choose, combine. A lot of things can be going on. We know that we can get a magnet and get voltage out of it, or we can get voltage and turn it into a magnet. What about the Earth's magnetic strength? Various coils. I think this is actually one of John's coils here. Some of John's samples where you have wood and aluminum and a knife. I think that one was it looks like it just kind of melted into the other material. So what about the magnetic effects? Well, let's review what happened that day. I say WTC1 got its hole. I'm not going to make any assumptions how the hole appeared. Maybe the Roadrunner left a solar passage. But that was at 8:46. WTC2 got a hole in it at 9:02, 9:03. WTC1 went poof, close to 10 a.m. WTC1 goes poof at about 10:30. Then at the end of the day, WTC7 goes poof. So let's see what the Earth's magnetic strength was at that time. WTC1 gets its hole, WTC2 gets its hole. Do you notice a downward notch and an upward notch? For some reason it seems like one reverses the other one at that time. Just coincidence. WTC2 goes poof and WTC1 goes poof. 30 minutes in between the two. WTC2 goes poof, WTC1 goes poof. Did one stop the other, whatever was drifting? And it's interesting how it kind of wanders the rest of the afternoon until WTC7 goes poof. Like that somehow was to end some process that was going on. And these are particular stations where this was monitored, and different signals. They're all picked up whatever anomaly was going on. That's when the two towers went poof. But what was going on in here? Something was drifting. Well, there's something interesting that we noticed. This is mid-afternoon. Here's Building 7, lathering up for its demise. And we're looking over the Winter Garden shortly before WTC 7 goes poof. And look at the right-hand side. It's kind of like a fish tank. Why is that image warped? Why is it not clear? It's mighty curious. Is something happening in space